Oh, that was
Did
good
you
fun.
enjoy it?
Yeah, it was so good. It was really good fun.
We're just warming up. Don't mind. You can cool down. So, Fran, I know that you've been going around before the concert talking about the aims of the whole issue. How do you think it's gone?
I think it's going great. If we didn't have the show, if Bob Geldof didn't exist, then you wouldn't be seeing every day in the newspapers G8, 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 do this, drop the debt, better aid. It's so important, and there are your odd cynics out there who have a voice, but you can't beat this. There's 200,000 people out there holding hands and having an amazing day, and they're aware of what's going on.
Are you not a little concerned that what they're actually thinking about is having the amazing day, and they'll go home tonight and they'll say that was absolutely brilliant, and I will do something about Africa, but I'll do it tomorrow, and tomorrow they won't?
Yeah, well, maybe there's a percentage of them that won't, but I think there'll be a percentage of them that will, and that's all we're interested in. There's 2.2 billion people watching, and if 2% of those people went to live.com and signed their name on the thing, it would be enough people. When numbers go over the hundred thousands, then it starts to become a little bit abstract. It's an amazing day, and all around the world. It's not just in London. All around the world, people are aware of it, and that's all we need.
As an individual, how do you feel about it? And you enjoy the rest of the gig.
Thanks, man. Reuters. Oh, I love Reuters. There you are, Reuters. No, we'll do this. It's fine. I'll go down.
No, it's fine.
I'm happy.
Sorry. Yes.
We'll get down. Yes. Hey. Yeah. We had a really good show. It was good. Really exciting. So good to see so many people having a good day, and I like the fact that all the bands that have been going up have been saying, this is why you're here, this is what you have to do, and it's so good. It's great.
I mean, it's an amazing event, amazing lineup, amazing concert. Do you think the message is still generally getting through throughout
Yeah,
the importance of why
I do. You're looking at TV screens behind you. You can't get away from it. When every day you open up the newspapers, it's there. I only hope that these 8 men do something about it. They have the mandate in front of them. They just need their signatures on it, and it goes into action. It's such a small thing, but I think magic can happen. In Scotland next week is a magical country. If you've ever been there, magic exists in Scotland. So I reckon good things will happen.
Now, when you're on that stage, you feel the enormity of, I mean, it's an enormous crowd for one, but the fact that there's all these other concerts going on, that it's just this amazing, unique event. Do you feel that when you're there?
No, I was just worried my trousers would fall down, because I didn't put a belt on. But before you go on, when you're on stage, all you can think about is everything in place? Oh my God, what's going to go wrong? Before you go on stage, watching Will Smith welcoming Philadelphia to the day, and everyone holding their hands up and clicking, and it's quite breathtaking.
What about the atmosphere among all the artists? How is that?
Well, we all know one another. We've been, God, it makes you wonder, we've been putting records out for 9 years now, and we know everyone. It's great. I never thought I would know so many cool artists, and it's sweet because we all are on tour all the time, and then eventually you do something like this, and you get to meet each other again and go, wow, how you doing? So it's cool.
Great. Okay, well, thanks very much.
You're
Enjoy.
welcome. Thanks, guys. Thank you. Thanks, man. Nice one. That was a rock star handshake you gave me. Like it. Like it. Okay. Nice to see you.
Sorry?
Take a step back, please. Thank you very much.
Tell us a little about the atmosphere of this incredible day. How is it?
It's like a great big party back here. Unfortunately, we don't get much. It's kind of hard to go and see too many of the acts that are on. I've been out front and seen the opening, U2 and Coldplay and Paul McCartney and stuff. Very, very good.
Why is this day so significant for you?
It's the attempt to do something important to help change the world, to do something about Africa. We'd all kick ourselves if we sat around and did nothing.
Do you think it can work, this performance?
Yes, I do. I mean, I've read a lot of the stuff about the various criticisms, but the amount of people who are being forced to think about these issues has got to have an effect that filters through and does help to make it.
Now, performance of Pink Floyd is one of the most anticipated of the day.
Oh dear.
How do you feel about that?
Well, it's great. I mean, you know, we've had a week of rehearsing and we're all getting on very well, all things considered. It's like sleeping with the ex-wife, really. Oh no, I didn't say that. Anyway, no, we're having a good time. It'll give us a nice little happy ending to think about.
Is it really only this kind of event that would have...
Yes, it is.
And why? I mean, was it really... I mean, was Bob Geldof on the phone saying, come on guys, you know...
Not only on the phone, he came down to my house and harangued me for hours.
And is it really, I mean, he's a very compelling man, isn't he?
He is, yes.
And what is it about him which makes you think...
He's got a very, very forceful personality and he won't take no for an answer. I mean, I gave him a no answer originally, but then he persuaded Roger to ring me up and pour some oil on troubled waters.
Now, of course, this day is very evocative of the Live Aid that took place 20 years ago. How do you think it can capture the unique... I mean, that was a truly unique experience. Do you think it's capturing that? Can it have the same feel? And
it'll have its own feel. It's a different occasion, but it's certainly got an atmosphere.
What can we expect from your performance?
A few old tunes, you know, dusted off and tarted up for the occasion.
Now, you've obviously had a very long and respected career. Do you still get a buzz and excitement seeing that amount of people? It's an incredible amount of people.
I do, yes. It's fantastic. It's a fantastic day.
Just a bit nervous.
I will do later. Not yet.
Okay, well, thanks very much.
The bigger the crowd, the less nerves, funnily enough.
Really?
I'm terrified in front of 50 people.
I suppose
Give me 50,000, it's easy.
it becomes quite anonymous, I suppose.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Can you just answer a couple of quick questions by our end, and then you're done?
Won't keep you very long. David, a lot has been made of, you know, obviously the problems in the band with you and Roger and everything. You know, how's it been this one for you?
It's been okay, you know, he's been very gracious. Wearing out, but they fit.
I think that is getting back to the band today compared to, you know, sort of years that
It feels as if sort of 20 years it's been sort of ripped out of my brain. Exactly the same.
yeah, I'm kind of not really here right now, so.
Can you tell me what it felt like when you looked out into that incredible audience?
It is such an overwhelming experience. I can't really find the words to describe how it felt, but it's such a beautiful feeling, really exciting, really exciting.
Did you have any nerves whatsoever?
I was extremely nervous. I was so nervous, but it was a kind of, I don't know, being part of what today is about. It kind of, I don't know, it's not the same nerves that I would usually get.
Because I guess you're not old enough to sort of really remember 20 years ago.
I was like
you know.
3-4 years old.
People are sort of saying, will this work? You know, can this work? And what's it going to take to make this work? What do you think about it?
I hope so. I mean, I hope that today, all the people that are out there, we're all part of something, you know, we all want a change. That is why people have come together, not just here, but across the world. And I don't see how, as human beings, that anyone can really ignore that. So I hope there's change.
There's some criticism that there weren't enough Afro-American artists on the bill. How did you feel about that?
To be honest with you, I mean, I totally understand how people came to feel the way they do completely. And if you look at things on the surface, I totally, completely understand. I don't feel that the decision was made out of malice or was a vindictive decision. I feel like within the UK, it basically reflects our music industry, the way our music industry is. But if you look at the bill across the board, worldwide, it differs. So, I don't know. I'm just happy to be here and much rather focus on why I'm here.
Slightly lighter note. Great earrings. Tell me about them.
Thanks a lot.
Who made them for you? How did you get them?
My stylist made them, or her friend made them, sorry. Yeah, that's it. Her design, her idea. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you. Hi. Hi, nice to meet you.
It's okay? Great. Which
You look at me as if we're just having a conversation. Associated Press for Syndicate.
Great, of course. Yeah.
So you've got a very important job to do here today. Tell me what you're going to be doing on stage later.
Well, I'm just going to be introducing the Nelson Mandela message, which is actually, as we speak, giving in Johannesburg concert at the moment, and also to just stress the messages of the campaign, which is trade justice, improving the quality and quantity of aid, debt cancellation, as well as wanting action on climate change.
Now there's several stages, important benchmarks that are happening. Can you tell me about what you hope is going to be achieved at each one?
Well, this moment is a focus on the G8, and there's been activities all around the world over the last 2 days, and they will continue right until the G8 meeting ends. There are mosques in Indonesia that are being wrapped in white bands, a symbol of the campaign. There have been monuments across the world that have been wrapped in the symbol. There have been marches to G8 embassies and so on. But we are seeing this event, including Live 8, is supporting a momentum that is building up, which will then be picked up on the 10th of September, when all the heads of government from developed and developing countries will meet in New York to account for what they've achieved in terms of the Millennium Declaration that they signed 5 years ago. Unfortunately, the scorecard is going to look quite bleak, and we will be picking up our mobilization around that. And then the third big global mobilization that we are working on is around the WTO meeting, which takes place in December in Hong Kong. And on the 10th of December, which is International Human Rights Day, we will launch another week of global activities. The idea behind this is to create opportunities for ordinary citizens around the world to be able to have a voice, to be able to, by wearing the white band and getting involved, showing the solidarity with the campaign, in the hope that government leaders will not be as passive and indifferent and as slow and lacking in courage as they need to be at this moment.
I mean, we had Bill Gates in here earlier, and some people might say, well, why doesn't Bill Gates just write a check? Why is it that you need the government's involvement? Why do you need that sort of that backing?
It's not solely about money, and it's not solely about charity. I mean, essentially, this is about a struggle for justice, because even if there's tons and tons of aid given, which is important, if we don't address the issue of an unjust international trading system that disproportionately favors the rich countries versus the poor, we will never have sustainable growth, we will never have a sustainable environment, and we will never be able to create opportunities for citizens in poor countries to be able to actually get out of poverty and move ahead. If we want to talk about trade justice, to give a simple example, whereas African farmers, Latin American farmers, Asian farmers, for example, receive virtually no subsidies from their governments to engage in farming, we have the European Union, for example, which funds every single European cow to the tune of €2 per day. More than half the people on this planet have to exist and survive on less than €2 a day. That kind of injustice is something that we have to put on the table and address. Governments know what they need to do, but they don't have the courage to actually do it. And what's very important is the rich nations of the world, including all the G8 nations, are the ones that dominate institutions like the World Bank and IMF. And those institutions have actually put in place conditions for developing country governments which prevent them from providing any support anyway. So it's a real double standard, and it makes it impossible for us to be able to get economic justice and economic growth and development.
We talk about G8, those 8 men around a table, signatures, the 8 signatures and what it will take. There seems to be suggestions that Tony Blair is supporting and moving forward. Who do you think is the stumbling block at the moment, and who is the big cheese that needs to be persuaded?
Well, firstly, it would be very important to understand where we are in terms of the different positions of the different governments. I think the easy answer to that is the biggest elephant in the room in all of this is the United States. And it's also important to understand that there's a huge gap here between the United States government and the United States people. For example, on the levels of aid, 65% of the people in the United States actually believe that the US government gives about 10 to 16% of its gross national income to international development and aid, when in fact the reality is they give less than 0.2%. Okay? This commitment on aid was a commitment that was made 35 years ago of 0.7% of gross national income. 35 years is a long time to wait for less than 1%. And importantly, when the Second World War ended, if you want to see political commitment, the US said we're having a Marshall Plan, 1% of our gross national income will go towards the reconstruction of Europe, and that actually had a huge impact in terms of helping. So we want to argue quite strongly that if it was large numbers of people dying in London, dying in Paris, dying in Washington DC, dying in New York, the kind of indifference that we are seeing will be addressed. And just to put it in perspective, money is not an issue, actually. If you want to look at political will on aid, you just have to look at how much of money, $300 billion, was mobilized literally overnight for what Kofi Annan has called an illegal war in Iraq. Okay? So where there's political will, money can actually be found. But let's be very clear, even with the UK government, while they might be ahead of the pack within the constraints of the G8, it's important for us to look at their record as well, because on the 0.7% commitment, the UK government is only saying that they will reach that target in the year 2013, right? So when you look at the detail, it doesn't look so good. On debt cancellation, what the G8 finance ministers announced in London 2 weeks ago, when we look at the detail of it, again, while it's a small belated step in the right direction, and we need to acknowledge that, it's very important that we recognize that the lack of courage and vision is also present there in this sense. Iraq alone had overnight literally $30 billion of its debt, one country, $30 billion of its debt written off because the political will was there, and this is a country that sits on seemingly the second largest concentration of oil, the most valuable commodity in the world, and they can get the... So when we look at the debt package on the table, we are saying that we want more countries involved, at least 60, they're talking about 18 countries. In terms of the actual money, we think they can do much more in terms of 100% debt cancellation. And also we're wanting to create a situation where rich countries of the world don't put conditionalities that make it difficult for developing country governments to fashion their economic growth in ways that make most sense for different countries to do. Okay, great, thank you. Sorry if I went on a bit there.
No, it's great. It's,
Okay.
you know, it's great to
Okay.
hear, you hear the figures and you
We start with EBTN then.
see how are you?
See you too, I'm alright. Of course I can. Let us know when you're off. Right, well, I hear you've come hot foot from Berlin. How did it go over there?
You know, it's been a really long day. It's been absolutely fantastic, and to actually come here, and the first act I've seen is Madonna, which was awesome, and it's just amazing. This whole day's been amazing.
I mean, what's the feeling like in Berlin? Because we obviously only know what's going on here. How's it going over there?
It's amazing, you know. It's in a very small street, but the street goes on for miles and miles, and there's literally, you can't see the end of the people. It's awesome. People are climbing trees to see the show, and it's amazing.
So who was also on the bill over there? Who was?
Green Day. I think Krista Berg's on, Aha. You know, I was on quite early because I had to make sure I get back on a plane to get here in time for some interviews and things. So.
I mean, how nervous were you going on? Because it is a worldwide phenomenon.
I know. They keep saying to me 5.5 billion, and that started really stressing me out. But you know what? I don't really struggle with nerves, so I wasn't really that nervous. But just wanted to do well, really.
I mean, did you get to bump into anybody over there in terms of, because there's so many big stars here? It's kind of.
Yeah,
do you leave your egos when you come in the door? Is it kind of?
Of course, yeah. You know, it was much more open in Berlin. Like, you know, Green Day were backstage, and Aha were warming up, and they're just the people I saw within the short space of time that I was there. So it was kind of just very relaxed over there.
I mean, who are you looking forward to seeing here? Is there anybody who you kind of?
Madonna was. I'm so glad in a way that it's been running late, because I thought I was going to be in the air when she was on. So I'm so glad to get here and her to be the first person I've seen. So I'm thrilled.
I mean, something like this, I mean, can it make a difference? Because, if people are watching,
of
is
course.
there a
this, you know, everyone together, we're so much stronger, and we can really send this message, and I really believe we can do that today. I think it's been a great day so far, and it really showed our strength.
Okay, great.
Thank you. Lovely to see you. Bye. Bye.
Backstage again at Live 8, talking to performers, and this Thank you very much, and we'll have more from Backstage and out front from Live 8.
We'll take that down and we'll take everything back with us, okay? Just to make sure. I've got you book here, so we'll all together. Leave that. Yeah, he's great. So that's going to go with the red camera.
No, well, the red camera's going to go back to London, back in the cage. You just leave the red camera.
Do you want to put this back in the cage? Find the rest of the leave it.
The rest, the red camera. No, leave the red camera. Everything you just with the connectors on. Behind.
Sure?
Yeah, and then he can just
Change your mind.
yeah. Yeah.
Just because he's got to take it. Then your eyesight's different, aren't they, isn't it? You widened it recently? Yeah. What did it give you? Fuck, it's rolling. And you've been rolling for the last 10 minutes. Totally understand.
Yeah, I'm very exciting, and I would just want to say thank to the music industry to support Africa, to make pressure for the leaders to decide cancellation and more aid. And what I'm trying to say is I bring also the new Africa. New Africa means definitely not the only image of war or poverty, but something moving forward, very forward, what we call New Africa.
And as an African, how important do you think it's that you yourself are performing?
I think it's important, you know, we incarn, you know, African music, but we have definitely a lot of chance and a lot of possibility to join some big name from Asia here and different place. I think we represent, even we little bit sad because not enough Africans, we represent the new Africans.
And just finally, take me through your route, because you've got quite a busy day today, haven't you?
Yeah, I'm going to join Dido on stage later. We're going to make 7 seconds, play 7 seconds, and thank you, and jump to the Africa Calling stage, and then Paris.
Good luck with it all.
Thank you.
Catherine Smith, APTN TV.
Hi. Hi, Catherine. Okay.
Come forward a bit more.
Okay.
Hi, very nice to meet you. How are you feeling on this momentous occasion?
Yeah, I think really, you know, it's very something happening, very something very strong happening, and I'm very happy, and I just want to say thank you, and bring also the message of New Africa. I think it's very important. There is some mistake about Africa, and Africa is not only poverty, war, and AIDS. Africa is also something very positive, constructive.
How aware in Africa are they of these Live Aid concerts happening around the globe?
I think, you know, everywhere, you know, and the approach is a little bit different. Let's say in South Africa, people are really interesting and know exactly. Because of less Africans, maybe a lot of country doesn't involve definitely, and they're not gonna watch TV for, you know, 6 or 7 hours. But it's important to know the music industry worldwide are mobilized to support Africa.
Can this concert work? Can it achieve the aim that it's trying to achieve?
Yeah, I think really music is power, is the first language. We can use it to, you know, put more pressure to the leaders to decide. Music can talk to people, we can deliver message, and so a lot of big stars who people think they just dreaming and talk about the reality. I think it's very important.
Are you excited about seeing the other performers today, and who are you particularly looking forward to seeing?
I don't know if I'm going to have a chance to see all the show. I just play my show, join Dido, and go to the African Calling stage, then Paris. You know, I think really is great. When I see the name, I think it's really great.
Are you nervous about fulfilling all those 3 concerts? It's a lot to do in one day.
Not really. I'm really happy to do it. You know, I think it's very important. It's the concept of Live Aid, you know, happening everywhere. If I can jump to South Africa, I'm going to do it tonight.
There was controversy over the lineup of this particular concert and the lack of African artists.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think it's some, missing, something missing. But in the same time also, we want billions of people watching TV. If you want billions of people watching TV, you need superstar, people. And the other thing is, we miss something. What I try to do with Dido today, bring Africans and here together, propose something brand new. We miss it because a lot of Africans can join and do something brand new.
As an African artist, what is your message, your final message?
My message is really Africa need open market. Africa need your market. Africa need dignity. And if we fight, reduce the risk of malaria, for example, the risk of AIDS, people can go, the young people can go to school, people have work. I think give them dignity. If they have dignity, they can make it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks.
Enjoy it. Thank you.
Richard from Reuters here. You can
do that.
So you get excited. You don't really get excited. But I think
Sam, sorry, that's exciting. Great to see you there. Distracted by my hair's look. How are you? All right?
will you be talking about politics on stage? No, well, I'm here to sing. Hey. Right.
Okay, that's very nice to see you. How are you feeling on this momentous day?
I'm feeling excited now. It's I don't really think about it till I get here. It's like one of my own gigs. I don't think about it till I'm backstage. But now, the crowds around backstage, you're seeing so many people that you know and they're your peers, and you're very excited about the whole thing. So yeah, I'm very, very psyched about going on.
Now, 20 years ago, of course, it was Live Aid.
Yeah.
How does it compare, or does it compare? I mean, are you feeling the same kind of emotion?
It's a different venue. It's a different cause. I mean, Live Aid was about starvation, and this is about trying to redress the balance of the rich and the poor. And this is a really important event. A political event, a free concert. Live Aid wasn't a free concert, it was to raise money. This is to raise awareness and for people to sign the Live Aid pledge, and as many people as possible, so that Bono and Bob can take it to the G8 leaders on Wednesday and say, listen, we've got 150 million people with this thing. You've got to try and make a difference. You have to listen to these people.
Can it work? This is a concert.
Of course it can work. If you try, people have said, there are a lot of naysayers, obviously, and it's provoked a lot of saying, well, it's not going to make that much difference. You have to try. You have to try and do something positive. I trust Bob so much. I think it will make a difference. I think the G8 people will listen. I think with Tony Blair and Gordon Brown leading the momentum, I think that I'm very optimistic about it being a huge success.
And what are you most looking forward to about actually being on that stage?
Yeah, I mean, I love to play live, so being on the stage is the thing I'm looking forward to most, and playing to all those people.
Anybody else you're looking forward to seeing?
Well, I'm going straight to Dublin afterwards because I'm playing in Dublin tonight, so I would love to see the Killers and the Scissor Sisters, but I won't be here.
Well, great. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much. Hello.